Yo, what's up, everybody? Everybody's upset about the immigrants coming into Chicago and into New York and shit like that. Well, I'm sure when Italian immigrants came into America, people was bitching about it. I'm sure when the Irish came into America, people was bitching about it. I'm almost certain. See, but the thing about the Irish and the Italians and the Germans coming into America is that they have a language. And they have a language to use. They have a language that keeps them together. Black people, they have no language. We came in from all parts of Africa. They think just because you come from Africa, you know each other. Them Africans ain't know each other, so they had no sense of community. They had no way to communicate. You know, they just came from all parts of Africa. They didn't know. And I guarantee you, most of them immigrants that are coming into America now, they're gonna classify them as white on paper. That's to build up the white population on paper. But you don't see hordes of black people coming into America like that to make it for a better way of life. Everybody comes to America for a better way of life. But I don't understand why they can't make where they're from a better place. Make where they're from a better place. See, but everybody, like, you know, back in the days, they used to always talk about how black women were on welfare and stuff like that. But everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. If not, they would stay in their country, and you see that now. Everything that's going on now went back in the 1800s, 1900s. You know, shit just repeats itself. Everything you see now went on back then. And everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. Like I said, they was talking about how immigrants came to America to work hard. How'd they get here? Who paid for it? If they was poor, who paid for it? Welfare. That was welfare they got to come over to get over here. It was some form of welfare. Everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. This is why it's disingenuous to call black women welfare queens and shit like that. Everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. The Irish, the Italians, the Germans. If not, they could stay home and make their home a better place. The Latinos, everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. They get clothes, they get a place to stay, they get food. That's welfare. They got a free, you know, like the Irish and Italians, they got a free boat ride over here. They didn't pay for the boat ride. Everybody comes to America for some form of welfare. And in my opinion, I think it's just to increase white population on paper. And I like to talk about history a lot, but sometimes people try to use history to make it seem like they're so smart and shit. But I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but when Europeans first came to America, it was called pilgrims. It wasn't called white. It was called pilgrims. Then they went from being called pilgrims to calling themselves Puritans. Then they went from calling themselves Puritans to calling themselves Christian. But then when black people and Native Americans tried to become baptized, they couldn't use the term Christian no more to create a distinction, so they started calling themselves like where they were from, English. But then when the country started getting an influx of more European immigrants, they couldn't use the term English anymore, so they used the name where they was from, like Irish American, German American, Italian American. And black people fought for the rights to live in other neighborhoods, and we called black Americans. So white people just said, we just gonna be called white. We white and you black. And as slavery enriched the country, the term white took on a significant meaning. So everything good was white and everything bad was black. And that's where the term white and black came from. And now you got more immigrants coming into the country, and they're not white, but they're on paper, they're gonna be classified as white. Asians get classified as white. Italians get classified as white. Germans get classified as white. Hispanics get classified as white. Everybody get classified as white. Yep. All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? These are my two books that self-published. Why don't you use your Cash App and get a few copies? Or if you'd like to know more, just inbox me, all right? Later.